Question everything, trust nothing, except for your boy CryptoKeeper. Hopefully everybody is doing well today. Uh-oh, are we having technical difficulties today? I cannot tell. It's looking like maybe we might be. Tell me in the chat, are you hearing me or am I speaking to myself currently? Somebody in the chat, let me know, because I don't want to sit here for 12 minutes like I did not too long ago and speak to myself. Patriot Caveman says, yo, brother, does that mean that you can hear me, Patriot Caveman? Because okay, Enrique says I'm live. All right, good to go. Well, welcome. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Like I said, apparently twice now since you heard me the first time. I'm looking forward to the stream today. Gonna have some fun. Got some fun meme coin stuff we're gonna talk about today. Opened up one of my wallets and saw a massive increase and have some really good intel. Can't give it all to you, but I'll give you guys a little piece of the action here in a little bit. So stick around for that if you're in the meme coin space. Obviously, CPI data came out. I'm going to break that down for you. We talked about it a little bit yesterday on the stream with Army Piper. Shout out to Army Piper. Always great when we have him on. But I want to break that down a little bit further so that we fundamentally have an understanding of what the CPI data looks like, why it is the way that it is, and then the implications that it has on the markets moving forward. It is really important, and we're seeing it play out in the markets. So excited to talk about all of that. We'll get into a little bit of news, possibly pull up a couple things on X, just kind of have some fun on the stream today. Let me jump into the chat real quick. Who was first in the house? None other than my boy Enrique Suave. Good to see you. Patriot Caveman in the house. French Toaster. Pablo Chuco's in the house. Sophisticated flyback. Sophisticated dirtbag fly fishing, not the fly bag dirt fishing. That's not how that goes. All right, so let's start off. Let's check out the markets. I know everybody's excited when the markets are pumping, so let's see what said markets are doing. Let me pull up my screen here. Actually, let me go over. There we go. Okay, I'm like zoomed in on Caspa. Hold on a second. I'll get to that. Don't worry. But we're going to go back up to the top. Here we go. All right. The global crypto market cap is at, drumroll please, $2.458 billion with a B dollars. That's up 3.4%. Let's go. Bitcoin, 64,875. We've got some important numbers to look at here in a minute with where we're at versus where we're headed, or in my estimation, where we're headed. ETH, 2976, creeping back up on that 3K number. BNB creeping back up towards 600. Guys, I keep saying these numbers because they're important levels with where we're at now. Solana, $153. Actually, the meme coin I'm going to talk about today is on Solana. So we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. XRP, well, it's XRP, so it's sitting right around 50 cents. Toncoin, $6.96, up 19% on the week. Love seeing that. And Dogecoin at about 15 cents. Now, zoom out just a little bit, go down, and we are at... did I not go far enough? I thought I went far enough. Here we go. Caspa, just about 12 cents, up 3.5% on the week, 5.4% today. Glad to see that. Scroll down a little bit farther. Another one of my faves is VeChain at 3.4 cents. Guys, I see VeChain at well above all-time highs as the last the last bull market showed. Last bull market, all-time highs for VeChain were about 27 cents. That's about an 8x from where we're at right now. I think we're going to go well above that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that play out. Listen, if this is just the bull run getting kicked off and Bitcoin sitting around 65K, we got a long way to go. I see some big numbers in the pipeline for the crypto space. Let's check in on the crypto bubbles. Love checking on this, especially on green days. Much more appealing to the eye. Can anyone spot a red bubble? Tell me in the chat, do you spot a red bubble? Because I don't. Well, hold on. We do have one right here. Yep. KuCoin is down 0.7%. So that is red. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hang it up. If KuCoin's down and the rest of the market's up, that's it. No, obviously that is not the case. So excited to see crypto bubbles all in the green. Guys, listen. The reason that I chart and talk about Bitcoin so much is not because I'm a Bitcoin maxi. It's not because I'm a Bitcoin only kind of guy. It's actually quite the opposite. I hold a decent little chunk of Bitcoin, but it's also the first thing that I'll take off the table when I need to put some money into, my bank account or whatever. If I need to flop the fiat, I had to do it yesterday or the day before. I see the lowest amount of price appreciation coming from because it's the largest market cap. However, it does control these markets, right? So I look at my portfolio when I need to take profits. Like if I actively need to take money off the table, maybe not even call it profit taking as much as it is, hey, I've got to have some liquidity here for some personal things. I need to pull. I hate doing it. I try everything in my power to not do it. But if I have to do it, I'm going to look at, all right, what's my lowest earning potential? And so for me, right, that's Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin, right? And so that's just how these markets work. But we pay the most attention to Bitcoin because it is the waistline that the belt, which is the crypto markets, are attached to. So let's zoom out here just a hair, not a lot. I'm going to look at the chart on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's at 64. Where are we at? Hold on a second. I'm sorry. 64,936 right now. Okay. I've obviously pulled, I pulled two channels here, right? Volume profiles. I pulled one from yesterday and then I pulled one from the last, I guess. Let me zoom over and see how far back I was at. I went all the way back to Friday, May the 3rd. Okay. The reason that I went to Friday, May the 3rd is because we had a lot of liquidity all the way back there that was happening in the price range where we are at now. And it's important to be able to grab that looking forward to see, hey, what are some important zones to look at? So over the last day, what we saw was a tight range that was effectively right here. We had a pretty tight range all through here, right? Right between like 62 and 61.3. Nice tight range. And then all of a sudden, see ya. We are taking off. So I've got an upward channel working. And look, as I zoom out, the value area high, which I think is going to be an important number to pay attention to over the last couple of weeks, is 64,177. Now, there's this channel and 64,177, right? They meet right about here, but we're kind of getting past that area. I believe that if we are going to come back down, the opportunity for me right now, because I don't think it's just going to be up and to the right. I think we got the major pump from the CPI data, which we're going to talk about here soon. I believe that the opportunity for me is going to be at that value area high, retesting the value area high at around 64-ish K, and then get a retest from that. If we tap 64, the value area high, and come back and retest that, listen, I'm getting long. I'm getting long. Now, how far will it go? I don't know. I still think that we need some accumulation. I still think that we need some time to be able to sit on some of these prices and the larger institutions be able to continue to stack. There's a lot of chatter in the crypto space. Bill Noble in the house. What up, Bill? Good to see you, bro. Check your text messages, good sir. I texted you earlier. I love you. I know you probably just got busy and missed it, but or maybe you were streaming. I'm not positive. If you guys aren't checking out Bill Noble, make sure to check out Noble Crypto. He was on the stream recently, and he's going to be coming on moving forward, hopefully like once a week. I love Bill. He does great analysis. He's got great insight on not just the crypto markets, but also has a lot of experience, like real world in-person experience with traditional markets, which ultimately obviously affect crypto markets. So yeah, that's kind of the overarching theme here. I think that 64-ish K number, if we can revisit that, I'm going to be going long from there. Now, I'm looking for a retest because I don't want to test it as, I don't want to just look at it as the first time we tap it after blasting through it as the confirmation. I'm looking for a retest after that to head to the upside. I have learned too many times that some of my breakout trading, as it were, has not been as profitable, and the percentages of my wins have gone down when I try to do the breakouts versus the retest. And shout out to OC guy on that one. I want to also shout out tomorrow, Thursday, the 1v1. It is going to be Tradefly versus Drew from Presend. It's going to be an exciting show tomorrow. The winner of that's going to go to the final in Trading Wars. That's on Monday. So tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you're here for that. And then on Monday, that will be, like I said, the next stream where we have the final. And the final is going to be great. I very likely am trying to. I'm waiting for a confirmation, but I think that Crypto Face might come on. He's won twice. We've got Bullish Trader. We've got OC Guy. And we will have either Tradefly or Drew from Presend, right? So that is going to be a hell of a lineup. Bullish Trader has the opportunity to win twice as well. So if Bullish Trader were to win, it would be 2 wins for Bullish Trader and 2 wins for Crypto Face. So we'll see which way that heads. But there's been a lot of good trading. The traders have been positive this season. They've been in the positive. I'm forcing them to trade. I'm putting them in bad positions. I'm making them spin wheels with leverage and playing with crap coins and all of those things. And yet the traders are in the positive, which has been really, really encouraging. If you guys want to sign up, you can still sign up. You can still trade through next week. The link is down below my stream. It's not going to take a lot to get you onto the stream. I am bringing on people that are trading underneath my link and the other creators' links. And the top people are not killing it. So it would only take a few trades, and you definitely could come onto the show. So I'd love to have you. If you're not already doing that, jump in there. You don't have to put a bunch of money in. Put in $50, put in $100. Jump on there, do some trading, get yourself on the show, and have some fun. You'll get to compete against some of the influencers as well, if that's something that you're interested in. French toaster, these are not eggs. These are spaghetti. I have been informed of that as of yesterday. So French toaster, the spaghetti lines. Is this considered spaghetti on the chart? I don't think that's spaghetti, right? That's that's a circle, some couple trend lines, right? Little analysis, not at spaghetti standards yet, but yeah. All right, let's talk about CPI, right? I think there's a fundamental. I think that there's not a fundamental understanding of CPI, right? And what CPI actually does, how it's measured, et cetera. So I'm gonna dive into this a little bit. So bear with me. This is very important. Okay. So CPI, what does it do? And I'm taking a peek at some of these notes here that I've got, but just to make sure that I don't misstate anything. The CPI measures the average change over time in the prices paid by urban consumers for a market basket of consumer goods and services. So basically the overview of how it's calculated, its impact on financial markets, et cetera, in crypto and stocks is what I want to get into. So how's it calculated? And this is important, right? There's 5 different ways that it's there's 4 different ways it's calculated, and then I'll give you the actual calculation. And this will kind of give you an overview of this. So you've got the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, right? They collect data on the prices from all of these different retail and service establishments across the country, okay? The prices include things like food, clothing, rent, medical stuff, etc. Right? So you've got that. You've got what they call the market basket. The items that are included in the CPI represent the basic habits of the population. Okay, if that makes sense. Basically, the market basket includes all these goods and services that people commonly buy. Now, there's an important piece here. It's called weighting. Each of these items, so they're not all equal. Okay. Each of the items in the CPI has a weight that reflects effectively like its relative importance in the typical consumer's budget. These weights are based on the data, the expenditure data, to be specific, from surveys of consumer spending patterns. Okay. But number 4, price changes. Prices of the items in the market are tracked over time. They calculate the price change for each item, then apply the corresponding weights with that to determine the overall change in the index. Because you always see, oh, this was the projection, right? So how's that calculated? Effectively, it's calculated by comparing the cost of the market basket in a specific period of time, right? In a specific period to basically its cost in that base period. So it's the cost of the market basket in the current year over the cost of the market basket in the base year times 100. That's how they get it. Okay. Now, let me pause real quick. Have I lost anyone? Okay. Are we tracking here? Right. Thank you, Patriot Caveman. I see that you hit me up on Telegram. Is everybody tracking? Are we understanding the overarching theme of CPI? Because this is important. And if you have this fundamental understanding of what's happening when data comes out like this, you're able to trade it. You're able to make hopefully profitable decisions based on said information. Army Piper put out a tweet, put out an X thread earlier this morning that said, we've got a couple minutes until we either boom or bust. right? He knew that depending on what this data came out and said, we were going to have a really strong reaction. And guess what? Bing, he was right on. It was positive information for the crypto markets, right? But is that the same for the stock market? So let's talk about that. So for the stock markets, right? You have impacts. So impacts, interest rates, right? The CPI data is an indicator of inflation. Okay, so high inflation, to make this really simple, leads to expectations of higher interest rates, as the central banks, obviously like the Fed, are going to raise, or will possibly, mainly, usually raise rates to curb that inflation. So higher interest rates increase also borrowing costs, right? So that does what? It slows economic growth, and then it will negatively impact stock prices. Okay, now you've got the consumer spending. Those prices affect the consumer spending, right? If the consumers have to spend more money on essentials, right, they're going to do what? They're going to reduce their discretionary spending. Discretionary, and that's important, right? Because that's going to hurt companies that are reliant on the consumer spending, the impacts which obviously is going to impact their stock prices, because if discretionary spending is spending that I don't have to do. Now, also earnings. Higher inflation is going to increase the costs for said businesses, which squeezes profit margins. If there's a big if here, right? Some of the companies have figured this out. If the companies can't pass the cost along to the consumers, right? When we talk about inflation and how it increases costs all around and how it rolls downhill, that's exactly it. Hey, things are more expensive for the business. I understand this from the businesses that I own. I've got to pass that along, or I've got to figure out a way, if I can, to pass it along so that I can continue to be profitable in the way that I need to run my business, right? That can negatively affect stock valuations. Okay. Now, flip over. Let's talk about crypto, because it's a totally different idea here, because we're more looking at like risk sentiment when we talk about crypto. So crypto is going to be viewed as a riskier asset, right? If you take stocks and you take crypto and you say, hey, which is a riskier, asset to be actively involved in, they're going to tell you crypto, right? So when inflation is high, that increased uncertainty that you get leads to a flight to safety, right? So investors will pull money out of those riskier assets like crypto. However, crypto is seen as, and has been historically seen as, an inflation hedge. So investors consider crypto, like Bitcoin, right, as a hedge against inflation. So positive CPI data, which indicates higher inflation. So the positive CPI data, now mind you, it indicates higher inflation, can sometimes lead to increased interest in crypto, because it's a store of value. It's a store of value. So people will flood over that way, saying, positive CPI data, that indicates higher inflation. I've got a fleet of safety. I can look at Bitcoin as a store of value, which we've seen exactly is what has happened today. Now, a big piece also, and I'm getting somewhere with all this, right, is market liquidity, right? High inflation and rising interest rates can reduce liquidity in these markets, right? You have tighter financial conditions. They result in less investment in crypto, as investors might prefer more stable assets. So there's a lot of moving parts there, right? And all of these are really important to understand, because all of the things happening, like I'm talking about with that CPI, directly correlate with how big money especially reacts and how they see things moving forward. And there's so much leverage in these markets. There's so much speculation in these markets that you have to have that baseline understanding of finance and how some of these big players think. If you don't understand how they think, how are you, other than obviously checking out charts, which is the same thing, it's checking out human emotions, checking out how people think. It allows you to kind of have that foresight to say, 1 + 1 = 2. So positive CPI means higher inflation, means I should probably, or people are probably going to rush towards safety, i.e. Bitcoin as my hedge of inflation, right? And so it just kind of adds up. And then what do we see with the markets do? Boom, they take off, right? They take off. Because let's talk about the impacts, right? Let me jump into the chat real quick. Hootie hoo, Clay the Great. What up, what up, what up? Glad to see you, bro. Glad that you are here. Not trying to bore people to death, just want everybody to understand. What's up, Caffeinated Crypto? I see you jumped in the chat there as well. Hola, hola. Glad to see you. I want you, education is a key piece here, right? And it's always going to be a key piece, because in anything you do in life, I don't care what kind of a business you run. If you have a fundamental understanding of the business that you're involved in, you can make better decisions. That's what I want people to do, right? I don't want to bore people with educational pieces. No, but I want to be able to break it down maybe like a kindergartner so that we can all say, okay, all right, I can see a correlation here. Therefore, I'm going to make a decision that allows me to then profit off of the fundamental understanding I have, whether I'm trading, whether it's a long-term hodl, whether it's just a quick flip, whatever it is that you're doing, scalping, etc. I have a better fundamental understanding, and therefore I can move forward with a positive, sentiment and belief in my strategy, right? So let's talk about the recent impacts, right? So today, the CPI data released, and I got to look at a couple of these, right, to give you the exact numbers, right? The data release showed a 0.4% month-over-month increase and a 4.9% year-over-year increase. Now, that was slightly below the anticipated 5%. So the mixed CPI data had a big impact on both stock and crypto, and it might not be exactly as you think, right? So the stock market, there's a lot of concerns in the stock market about inflation, right? That leads to continued worry about high interest rates, right? Generally, when high interest rates are a worry, right, that puts downward pressure on stock prices. However, we did see some sectors, some perform better than others, but whatever. The historical data suggests that the S&P often sees gains during the summer, right? We saw some sectors performed, some didn't, but historically the summer, which we're moving into right now, sees gains, especially in election years, because finances are what people absolutely lean onto and into, because people want to know at the end of the day, hey, is the man sitting up there at the White House going to do what's in my best interest for my money? Because at the end of the day, money allows us to be able to do things with our lives. It allows us to be able to spend time the way that we want to. It allows us to be able to maybe hold assets that we want to. It allows us to be able to pass along, wealth to our children, grandchildren, et cetera, right? Now let's talk about the crypto market. So Bitcoin experienced a freaking price surge, right? Boom. CPI released. Whew. Why? Well, the investor sentiment sees crypto, like I said, as a hedge against inflation, right? But keep this in mind, right? The relationship between CPI and crypto prices remains like this really complex thing, right? There's going to be a lot of like various things are going to influence the market reaction. So you need to still be careful, right? Part of that is within regulatory developments. We do not have a fundamental understanding of the regulatory repercussions of what's actually happening in these markets, because it is still a newer asset that the government, effectively the Fed as well, is trying to fight against, right? So basically the data underscored ongoing inflationary pressures. That's what it said, right? You get mixed reactions from the financial markets. Stock markets concerned about interest rates. Crypto markets see a boost because, hey, this is an inflation hedge. That is the breakdown of why things like CPI are important. That is the reason why when you hear, when I was younger, I would hear people have discussions about stuff like just exactly like this. And I would just let it go over my head, right? I'll be 40 years old in a couple weeks, right? Birthday's coming up. And what I realize now is that, my finances are directly tied to all of these big things that happen on Capitol Hill. All of these things and decisions that are made outside of my personal control affect my finances. Now, if I can be one step ahead of that, or have an understanding of what's happening in these markets and how they can affect my money, well, then I can make a better decision. That's literally point blank it, end, stop, period, discussion over. I understand things better. I know the relationship. I know 1 + 1 = 2. Here's the output. Here's the output. Input, output, right? Now, keep in mind with that as well, that sometimes there will be other external factors that, aren't normally in play that could absolutely affect this. Any time of the day, week, month, year that you have, anything going on with wars, big political narratives, those are all going to play into how the market reacts to the information. But as a general rule, this is a percentages game. This is a numbers game, right? This is a numbers game. And if the numbers traditionally say like I said, the CPI data suggests is up, which suggests higher inflation, which suggests a rush to safety. If that's traditionally what happens on a regular basis, I'd rather bet on that than against it. We saw it this morning, right? If I flip back over to my chart, we saw it. Look at this. Look at this. Boom. Oh, nope. Didn't want to do that. No. This is what I want to do. Let me get rid of that shit. My bad, guys. There we go. What did we see? We saw upward movement immediately, right? We're at almost 65K. And I think that it's going to be an important piece for all of you, whether you're doing shorter term stuff or longer term stuff, to understand some of the intricacies of the markets outside of crypto, which is why I'm focusing on things like CPI data. I get it. It can be boring. It's not exciting, right? But like the meme coin stuff that we're going to talk about here shortly, but it is vitally important to you having that understanding and continuing to press forward with your financial investment thesis. That's really what it comes down to. Let me take a drink of coffee real quick. Smash that like if you have not already. $5,000 up for grabs next time I play Flip or Hodl. I've got a company interested right now that's talking to me about possibly doing just that. So toss the super chats in. I'm 5xing the super chats right now. There's not a ton of names on the wheel either. And a few people, including Caffeinated Crypto, has got a number of names on that wheel. So if you guys want to have the opportunity to win this money, make sure to toss in those super chats. Patriot K-Man says, nah, just close your eyes, throw money at something. All right. That effectively in a full-on bull market works. It works, right? You could have last run literally closed your eyes and said, yeah, just put the top 50 on the board there for me, on the dartboard, and taking a toss. And I can all but guarantee you that that would have been, whatever that hit would have been a positive impact on your portfolio. I mean, look, like just a little pump today, right? Ho! Everything's green, right? Every freaking thing is green. And so you've got to play this as that is exactly that. It's a numbers game, right? But we've still got time. And I want people to remember that. There's still an amount of time, and I keep preaching this, that we need to have some more accumulation. We missed our chance, not missed our chance. The institutions missed some of their chance at accumulations because things took off so fast surrounding the ETF. And so they need more time. So the question becomes, what's that accumulation level going to be? It's been happening decent between, 58 and 65K, right? It's been happening, but we haven't seen like a tight range of just boring times in a little while. Those boring times, I'm telling you, you've got to stick through the boring times to get to the other side of the rainbow. The boring times lead to blast off. If you've been in crypto for any amount of time, you've probably been bored to tears, right? And then you just wake up one morning and you're like, hold on a second. Did I look at my portfolio right? Is this correct? And I've got a meme coin that I'm about to talk about here in just a second, right? That definitely happened this morning. I actually wasn't looking on my phone. I was looking on my computer because I hold that wallet on my computer. I'm a weirdo about how I do some things in crypto just to be safe. But listen, at the end of the day, right, this is all a game that is being played at a very, very high level with a lot of money. And so if you don't have a fundamental, better than just a fundamental understanding, if you are not head and hands in these markets and you don't have your finger on the pulse of what's happening at all times, I want to throw out there, this is financial advice. Please, for the love of God, don't just gamble with your freaking money, right? There's some rules in crypto, and one of those rules, it's a rule, right? There's like a basically holding a large amount, especially if you don't have your finger on the pulse at all times, hold a large amount of your portfolio in top tier projects. Yes, you're not going to get a 50 or 100x out of Bitcoin. You're not even going to get a 10x out of Bitcoin. Not right now, anyway, right? At some point, yeah, you'll see it, right? But you are going to get price appreciation. You are going to outperform the stock market. You are going to do better than you could do elsewhere by just sitting on your hands. Literally sit on your hands. Sitting on your hands last bull run worked tremendously. But many of you sat on your hands through the bull market and let it trickle all the way back down. So the key there is, where am I taking profits? What am I taking profits into? And where am I looking to re-enter said markets? And that could change. That could change. If we see a super cycle, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be upset that they sold out of a lot of positions, right? Because they ultimately are like, well, you know what? I've seen where this goes before. This is going to go back down, and then it doesn't. And it's like, oh shoot. So I would just warn people, whatever your investment thesis is, have some sort of a backup plan. I heard a TikTok this morning, and the guy was talking about burn all your boats. And I'm like, what's this guy talking about? And he starts talking about how if you burn every single boat, i.e. getaway strategy, just freaking bail, right? If you burn all of those, you only have one option but to press forward and press through. I would say that does not apply when we're talking about investments. You've got to have, because this is not talking about you building a business from the ground up and just working your ass off and doing everything you can to make sure that it's successful. We're talking about investments that ultimately are affected by so many different things worldwide that you have no control over. I like the idea of burning the boats if you have full control, but you don't have full control over these markets. None of us do. I've done very well in crypto. It's done very well for me. It's been life-changing, right? And there's a lot of people that ultimately in the chat that I believe it's been for as well. But the facts are, you do not control these markets, and you cannot not have a backup like plan, right? So for the super cycle, for example, when I sell off a bunch of Bitcoin, ETH, whatever I sell off, all of my alts and crap coins and all that, when I sell stuff off, I will be keeping a percentage that's just going to sit no matter what. It's just going to sit, because the reality is, we could, like I said, you're not in control. We could see something like a super cycle, and then what, right? And then what? And then the average entry that you had drastically changes because you totally sold out of your entire portfolio. So I just caution you, have some sort of a little game plan, a little backup plan. All right, so let's talk about meme coins a little bit here, okay? One of the things with meme coins, I'm doing this now. Let me throw this in there. A couple people joined yesterday. Really glad to have you. Underneath the stream right now, I have a Telegram group. It's called Keepers Degens. And ultimately, I'm not just doing educational stuff, but I want people to fundamentally understand the meme coin markets. So I told you last run, okay, how much I disliked meme coins, right? I made 100x on Dogecoin. I did some good stuff, whatever, but I told you I did not like meme coins. That, as you've seen, that has changed. And if you're not willing to change and mold and mend, then yeah, you've got something going on wrong with you, right? I started to understand how positive the meme coin space, the meme coin sector can be for crypto, right? So as that has changed for me, I decided, you know what? Same exact thing as everything else. Same exact thing as understanding the CPI data, its relation to the stock market, its relation to crypto. I need to have an understanding of, what do these meme coins look like? What do they do? How do they react? Why do they move the way that they do? And I got a look behind the freaking curtain, right? I literally, the curtain pulled back and they said, Keeper, come on in, bro. Come on in. And it's a really nice thing to be able to do, right? I am connected with a lot of, high level people that have been doing, a lot in the crypto space. Go to a lot of events, know everybody, I have fun with people. I'm friends with everybody. Like, it's great. And because of those good relationships, I'm able to get some nice little, I get to go to some of the dinner parties, right? So let me make this really clear. The meme coin markets, while all markets are manipulated, the meme coin markets, and again, I'm not talking trash about meme coins, I'm just trying to have you understand, the meme coin markets have a next level to that. There is a next level to how these things work, all the way down the line, from basically who is exit liquidity, when do people get the information and it's strategic, where's all the money coming from, what are the sell points, who's making that happen. Guys, this, you have to have a game plan with these meme coins. And I want to caution people, it is very easy to get caught up in the hype of the idea of looking at, let's just say, yeah, I put $250 in here and it's worth $6,000, right? it's very easy to get caught up with the idea that when you see that 250 that's turned into 6K for a lot of people, to say, but wait a minute, it's only at an $8 million market cap. They told me it was going to 50 million or 100 million or whatever crazy number. And then you math that out and you're like, wait a minute, I'm at 8 million. If it goes to 50, that's a 6X from there. I've turned that already in, and all of a sudden you're mathing this whole thing out and you're like, oh, I've got 40 grand sitting there. No, you don't. No, you don't. So I want to make a suggestion to people on the meme coin space. If you are going to sell, if you are going to take profits, which I think that you should do, watch, pay attention, and the times to effectively take profits without dumping somebody's chart, especially if you're involved in it, is selling small amounts into pumps. Okay? Selling small amounts into pumps. So why do I say this? Well, I'll tell you. If I hold a decent amount of an asset and there's an amount of liquidity and my bag gets super big, and then I'm like, okay, I'm out. And I just, boom, I just dump the whole freaking bag, right? It's that game of musical chairs, but everybody else that didn't get a chair gets absolutely hammered because the market caps on most of these are not big enough to be able to withstand these huge sells. So what I'm trying to get at is understand and put forward, like I always talk about, a game plan to be able to get out. Don't just calculate, hey, I put in $1,000. It's going to be worth 50 grand, and I'm just going to sell all 50 grand at once. First of all, a lot of the projects won't have the liquidity to be able to do it. It won't be able to withstand a sell like that, etc. Right? Second of all, a lot of times you will miss your opportunity on the way up. It gets to 42K, and you're still sitting on it, and that actually ends up being the price point at which it dumps. So take profits on the way up. Take profits, take pieces parts, right? That's ultimately what the game is. The game is to be able to accumulate at low prices, be patient, have a fundamental understanding of the project. What is it doing? Who are the people involved? Do I have a belief structured around what this is doing? But then understanding, hey, it's still a meme coin. This isn't actually changing anything in the crypto markets, because most of the meme coins are literally just that. They're a meme. They're fun. They're gambling. They're an activity. It's like standing at the craps table and being up $10,000 and not bailing until you hit 11K or whatever. And you started with $1,000. It's freaking chaos. It's stupid, right? So I just want to just say that. Okay, so my boy Blood, Crypto Blood. Shout out to Blood. Blood is involved with a project called, drumroll please, Coochie. I'm going to share my screen right now. Blood talked about this on, actually, this has dropped a little bit here in the last little bit, but it's still pumping. It's still rocking and rolling. And again, this isn't sponsored. This is nothing. This is me just showing you something that I'm involved in, right? All right. Market cap, 1.83 million. Look at this freaking chart. So this thing started on the 19th of April. And I want to show you this. Look at this. So from the 19th of April, effectively, to all the way... well, I don't want to show you from the very bottom because none of you are going to be able to get in there. Let me do a realistic pull here. Effectively, right here, this area right here, you had about 106% ability of price appreciation. Now, this whole pump right here was that initial launch. That's the people that have the know. That's the people that get in on the absolute front side. That's people that are involved in the project. That's people that are in the KOL groups, etc. Right? That's not realistic for most people, right? But they went from the 19th of April all the way to the 8th of May. Right? That's not a ton of patience. It's 3 weeks, right? And then all of a sudden, this thing said, oh yeah, by the way, I am ready to rock. And it's up 800.88% since, 7 days ago? Something like that? 6 days ago? Let's see. It's the 15th today. So 8 days ago. In 8 days, it's up 800%. So let me tell you what I'm looking at here. I can't give you all the information, but what I can tell you, and again, this is not sponsored. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to all run out and buy Coochie. Okay. It is COOCHIE. If you're searching for it on Dex Tools, let me just show you again. Look, if you're searching on Dex Tools, when you type this in right here, you do COOCHIE, right? And it's the first one right here. Okay. So that's how you spell it if you guys are looking for it, right? This is obviously the, I know the person involved with this. I know some of the things happening on the back end, and I can't tell you specifically what's happening here, but I will tell you, I hold this, right? I woke up this morning. I had bought, I don't know. I don't want to call it a small amount. It wasn't a large amount. I bought some, right? Doesn't matter how much, but I bought some. And I woke up this morning and I was doing my thing. And about an hour ago, I was like, you know what? Let me check my Solana wallets. I haven't been paying much attention to my Solana wallets. And one of my Solana wallets was like way up. And I was like, wait a minute. What the hell is this? And I look in and I'm like, oh, Trade Intuition in the house. Good to see you, Trade Intuition. Glad that you are here. Thanks as always, brother. I love you. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, the kids do this now because they don't know this because I'm old. I'm old if I do this, apparently. Apparently the kids do this, or the little kids do this. Like my daughter, if she's like trying to act like she's on the phone, she puts her hand up like that. And anyway, I'm like, yo, blood. Bro, am I looking at this right? Listen, I didn't even tell him what I was talking about. He's like, oh, yeah, you're looking at it right. And we got a long way to go. And I'm like, okay. So let me just tell you. There are some things when we talk about projects, meme coins, etc. The biggest thing that happens, or the biggest thing, is obviously the meme ability is fantastic, but the things happening in the background, the people involved, and then the marketing ability that goes along with it are absolutely paramount. I'm just going to tell you that every single person in this chat knows two people that are going to be talking about this project. That's all I'm going to say. They are not in crypto. But I will tell you, every single person in this chat knows two people that are going to be involved in this project. So that's about as straightforward as I can be about it. Can't give away all the little deets, little details, but I'm just telling you, jump into my DGen group. I do give some, more information over there. Like I said, the link is down below. It's a Telegram group. It's free. You're not paying for it. Don't worry. The link is down below the stream. But I'm trying to educate people in the meme coin space there, not just meme coins, but fundamentally in crypto as a whole. We're sharing ideas, sharing some projects, etc. I only share projects if I have a direct connection to them on there. So I talk about Tonald, which is at like 1.18 million. I started talking to you guys about that at about 200,000 or 300,000. So that's up about 700%. I'm talking to you about Coochie, which is up about 800% in the last 8 days, right? And I still think this has a long way to go because the two people that I'm talking about that you all know have not yet talked about this project, and they're going to be. So Enrique said, the only people not talking about Coochie are my gay friends. Shout out to you, Enrique. I literally look forward to, I want to tell you guys this. I appreciate everybody in the chat, right? Enrique is one of the people in the chat that I genuinely look forward to hearing what kind of chaos comes out of his mouth on a daily basis for the stream. So Enrique, if you stop showing up, Enrique, I will find you. Okay. I need some of the comedy in my stream. Okay. So you better keep coming. Right. Yeah. Clay the Great says, Keeper is talking to me about Coochie. Yeah, I know. I am. Lots of experience. Okay. Lots of experience. Oh boy, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. All right, so Coochie, definitely one that I have my eyes on. Like I said, I have a back door. Guys, this is going off the rails. This is getting bad. I've got information. Okay, I've got info. I've got intel. Okay, I don't want to tell you that I've got the access to the back door while I'm talking about Coochie, because then things get a little wild. And I think that I put this stream as not being family friendly. I just made it that way. If it wasn't already, it's there now. So welcome. Children, I'm hoping you are not here or you are not listening. All right. So yeah, so Coochie is one of those that I'm looking at. Tonald, I want to remind everybody, I keep talking about it. It absolutely, the money that we are investing in marketing, the money, and I say we, I'm part of this team, the money that we are investing in marketing, the money that we are putting together and putting into some campaign stuff, right? The money that we are putting towards veterans, right? I was in the Marine Corps. I'm a veteran. All of that, I believe, is very important. We're in an election year, right? I keep talking about political memes as well. So the Coochie is a fun one that some big ass names are going to be talking about. And we have a space coming up. Tonald has a space that's going to be coming up with them. So I'm excited about that. So look, growth is going to happen, right? Within these two ecosystems. And I think they might go side by side. So maybe it's the one, maybe it's the freaking 1-2. I'm looking at knocking out my mic here. I believe that it could be a nice little 1-2 punch for your portfolio. And reminder, like buying Coochie, that's on Solana. Simple. Buy Sol, get a Soulflare wallet, buy it on Jupiter, do whatever it is you want to do. Okay, cool. Ton, little bit more work involved in doing that. I like the Ton Keeper wallet, and then I go to browser, StoneFi, and I can flop over to Tonald from there. But you know, there's a little bit more work involved, which I think is what holds back when Toncoin gets on the major exchanges. Listen, this thing's already gone nuts. It's going to go insane. It's going to go insane. All right, let's check out Twitter. Let's see what's going on. Listen, we're going to do a live look-in on X. I have nothing planned here. I want to see kind of what's going on here. So my boy Sam Price, Lifer, says, today you are in control. You're not a victim of your environment. The past is the past, and you have today to create no more excuses. Shout out to Crypto Lifer. Lifer moved down to Florida. He seems to be doing really well there. Hoping to have him on for the next season of Trading Wars. Speaking of Trading Wars, real quick, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys, be there, guys and gals, right? Guys and gals, gonna need to be there tomorrow. The finalist will come out of tomorrow. There will be 3 people in the finals. It is Bullish Trader, it is OC Guy, and it's either going to be TradeFly or Drew from Presend. So big championship coming up on Monday. Hoping to have everybody back. I think CryptoFace might come on as well. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a big show on Monday, but tomorrow is going to be paramount so that we know who is in the final on Monday. So yeah. PGK Man said, y'all going to deport some or donate some money to deportation? We need that more than Patriot K Man. You're always good for a good laugh as well. And how true that is. I'm going to stay away from that subject right now because I don't feel like getting in trouble. But yes, you are very, very correct. Let's see what else we got here. They make these so fast. Bitcoin 65K. You've got Bitcoin, the Undertaker, coming out and taking down the Bears, baby. Here it comes. Izzy, what's the Undertaker's move? What's the Undertaker's move? What's the somebody tell me in the chat, right? What is the what is his move where he's like where he grabs him by the neck? Yeah, I can't think. Here is my boy CryptoFace says, I'm a pleb that wonders what's happening when 2 men are flopping and groping each other. I love CryptoFace. I'm looking forward to having him on. Jay Chain's talking about a little Ondo finance. Name that token. Well, that token is Coochie today. Yep, that token is Coochie, and that token has been tunneled. So those are the 2 that well, that actually says, hold on, we're just going to do price action, right? This says price action versus utility. This is actually utility versus price action in the in what I was just talking about, right? Anything else going on? I wanted to double check and see. High Res the rapper, I've met him. He's great. He follows me. He's in the music game. I love what he's got going on. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to jump into X and see what was going on in the space. Let's see here. Enrique says, I don't know the name, but don't let this man distract you from the fact in 1998, the Undertaker threw mankind off Hell in a Cell and plummeted 16 feet on an announcer's table. Yes, I remember that. I do. I remember that for sure. They did lots of crazy stuff. Okay, so overall thesis of today's show. The information outside of crypto has to be part of your skill set, of your knowledge, right? It's got to be there, right? If you want to continue to watch me, fantastic. I'd love to continue to have you. I want to continue to grow the community. We've got Trading Wars. We've got Flipper Hodl. But at the end of the day, I want people to make money, right? Looks like Joel Christensen joined the link. Good to see you, Joel. He's in the Telegram group. We got the DGen group growing there every day. But at the end of the day, I want all of you to make money. I want you to be able to point back to my shows and say, you know what? I took this piece. I took that part. I took this idea. I took this from Keeper. Keeper allowed me or helped me to make more money. That's what I want. That's at the end of the day what I want. I know what I'm going to do. I know my game plan. I know my investment thesis. I know the knowledge that I have, and I want to pass it along to you so that all of you can do the exact same thing. Crypto fam, make sure that you guys are here tomorrow. 1v1. We've got TradeFly versus Drew from Presend, and one of those is going to go into the finals on Monday for Trading Wars. So if you're not following me over on X, make sure to do that. It is Crypto Wars with a Z OG. So at Crypto Wars OG. Okay, right here. Whoop, whoop, right here. Crypto Wars OG. Make sure you guys follow me over there. I am genuinely trying to grow as much as possible. And if you guys like TikTok, I definitely do some different stuff on TikTok. I definitely tread some different waters over there. The _ CryptoKeeper. And don't be fooled. I'm never going to message you asking you about your investments and how they're doing and blah, blah, blah. There is 100 or more different fake accounts, and some of them have some big followings. Like there's a fake account of me that has over 70,000 followers on TikTok, right? But my account has 100, and I don't pay attention to this that much. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. My account has 128.4K followers. Okay, so I have 128.4K followers right now. That is me, the _ CryptoKeeper. Right, all caffeinated crypto. That's you, buddy. Welcome. Well, I just totally doxed you, by the way. But hold on a second. Boom. What up? There you go. I hit you up in the Telegram group. Glad that you're here, bro. All right, so crypto fam, if you have not already, tell somebody you love them today. Mean it. Love you. Mean it. Right? I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you for being here. You could have been anywhere on a Wednesday, but you're hanging out with your boy Keeper. I would appreciate you if you put on the bell notification. Make sure you follow. Jump into the Telegram group. Let's learn some stuff together. Let's make money together. Let's have fun together. Let's do all of those things together as a group. Question everything. Trust nothing except for your boy CryptoKeeper. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. I will see you soon.